right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. God, it's October, if you can believe it. Geez, October 2nd. We're here. We're officially the Pushing Boundaries podcast, pushing boundaries in our classrooms. If it's either virtually at your computer, at home, in the classroom. My name is Robert Knowles, a.k.a. Silas Knowles. I'm coming back to you, bringing you educators and administrators who push the boundaries every day of their classroom, of their district, inspire everyone around. We have a very, very interesting guest today. I've been doing my homework on him. Definitely is somebody that we need to talk to, talking about good things that he's doing as an administrator out in the East Coast. So before we get into the conversation, let me give you a little preview of who this gentleman is and what he's all about.
Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Marotta and I am the author of The Principle, Surviving and Thriving, and I'm excited to do a book review today here on Disrupt Ed TV, sharing some tips and concepts in my book. This was an exciting journey for me, and if you are a school administrator, you're a school leader, this book is for you. So very quickly, there's a lot of tidbits in here. It's kind of my manifesto, it's kind of my style, and all of the things I've learned in my 14 years of being a school administrator, and I'm happy to share them with you. The first tip is treat every kid as if they're your kid. Make special experiences for those kids. Treat them with love and compassion and warmth, and be authentic with the kids. That's what you want for your kids, and that's the first tip in the book. The last tip is successful or significant. We do so many things over the course of our career, and one day when we step away from doing this job, is there going to be a significant impact, right? We want to be successful in our jobs. We want to be good at our jobs. We want to have good test scores, all of those things. But really, the true goal is being significant. And I share different tips in the book here about making a significant impact, not only on your school, but your staff, your students, and the community. So there's a lot in between also, right? Your own self-wellness, looking and acting the part, time management, communication, all of those things are in here. They're real life things. There's a lot of fun stories. And if you live the life of a school administrator, you know it's a different day every day. So many different things can happen. So I want to thank Disrupt Ed TV for allowing me to do this book review. If you do have the book and you like it, throw a review on Amazon. Or if I can help you in any way at your school, reach out on Twitter at Andrew Marotta 21, and I'd be happy to speak to your administrative team, conference call, video chat, whatever I could do to try to help you. But thanks so much for Disrupt Ed TV for this book review. I hope you enjoy it and continue going out there thriving in your job. Signing off here on Disrupt Ed TV. All the best to you.
So I have Andrew Marotta, the guy who wrote that wonderful book. Andrew, how are you doing today, brother?
Robert, happy Friday, man. That was a blast from the past 2 years ago. I'm looking at that young buck saying, who's that kid? But
as you can tell, Andrew's got that real good New York accent. I can always love and appreciate. I can already tell I'm like, all right, we got a New Yorker here. That's all we need to talk about. So Andrew, before we get started, definitely, we have a lot to talk about. I want to be mindful of your time today. So, normally I want to tape in 25, 30 minutes. There are times that this thing has gone forever, but want to make mindful of your time. Who is Andrew Marotta? Like, how did you get to this point, sir? Who are you?
Yeah. And Rob, it's an honor to be on with you. I love your energy and the graphics, everything you're doing on here, pushing the boundaries. So kudos to you. And your message. But yeah, Andrew Marotta, 16 years here in Port Jervis, New York. That's an hour and a half northwest of New York City. And it's a great town, great community here. I actually didn't even get a chance to leave work. I'm still at work here. But I've been a school administrator here 16 years. I was a teacher in the city. I was a science teacher. My wife and I moved out of New York City, upstate, as they call it. I actually live in Pennsylvania, right on the border. I used to referee college basketball, and someone challenged me to write a book. And they said, Andrew, you can do it, And I said, I can't do it. I'm too busy. I don't have time to do it. They said, you got to do it. They said, don't write the book. Just write down what you do as a principal. Well, in less than 24 hours, I had 100 of those tips, and the book changed my life. I actually stepped away from college basketball officiating because I'm enjoying working with principals and working with schools to try to get us going in the right direction. So that's me. I'm enjoying the journey and just happy to keep doing this the work that we're doing.
Excellent, and definitely when I've been diving into the proof that you sent out for me. But the big thing is that doesn't have now on the cover of your book. Is that you? Is that you on the book?
That's me. I wanted the book to be authentic. I got the schedule in my back. I got the radio. I got my notepad. I'm in the hall with the kids. That's how the world, us principals live. And so that picture's authentic. Yeah, that's me.
Definitely. And that's the thing. Like, I have a 5-year plan. I want to try and become an administrator within 5, to try and get it to that level. I mean, I'm only 8-9 years into the game of education, and I feel like I'm just tipping the iceberg a little bit. Just with a little bit, I did a professional development earlier this afternoon for 50 educators at my school, and it's just I'm just poured out. But I got homework, I got classes to plan for, lessons to teach, lessons to put together. I still got a whole weekend of stuff. But for you, your first chapter, what you talked about in the video about how you treat kids, how you have that message for success. Talk about treating every kid like your own kid.
Yeah. Port Jervis here. We're just under 800, right? We got new freshmen in here having a hard time meeting, right? Because some of them are on the computer. Some of them got this on. You can't see them, right? But we try to keep this place close knit, right? I want to know every kid's name. I want to acknowledge the good things they're doing, and having a good experience for kids, right? We're trying to make this place here in Port Jervis a place that kids are dying to get in versus they can't wait to get out, right? And how do you do that, right? You create authentic experiences. You make it fun. We just had dismissal a few hours ago. We had music playing, right? It's a beautiful afternoon here in the Northeast, right? The bell rang, boom, music is on. Just trying to do fun things like that. Again, I'm in my office, right? These are the postcards we send out. Someone does something good here, you're getting a postcard, right? We're acknowledging it, right? And normally people, when they hear from the principal, like, oh, what's the matter? We got to change that mindset, right? You get one of these, it means you did something good. Hey, Robert, great job on the program today. Enjoyed talking with you. Boom, it's in the mail. It might only take me a few seconds, but when a high school freshman or a sophomore gets that, right, they feel good about it, right? We give out our stickers here too. All little things like that to make kids feel special, that the principal acknowledged me. My teacher called home on a positive phone call. A teacher stopped and helped me pick up my book, right? Things that just, if they don't happen, they're not good for kids. We're trying to create great experiences, and we try to tell parents that they might not be happy with our decision, but if they know that we care about their children, they know that we really care about this place and the environment and making good experiences, it doesn't make it so bad all the time that they might not agree with us, but at least they know that they care and that we're committed to the kids.
Exactly. And by the way, I'll expect my postcard sometime soon. I'll get back.
Yours is in the mail. The Rocketbook's coming, and I threw a book in there for you, so it's coming, man.
So with your team and everything out there, are you guys now, just out of curiosity, are you guys in person doing the virtual thing? I mean, are you doing half and half?
Yeah, real proud of the work we've done in Port Jervis. COVID has challenged all of us educators, right? But it made us collaborate even more, right? So many meetings, conversations. I'm a believer of, you put a lot of smart people in the room, you're going to figure it out. You're going to get to the answer, right? And it's not, I don't call them, naysayers or problem makers, right? We're problem seekers, right? What issues will come up? Not that we can't do it, but what are going to come up, and then how do we get around it? So we have a great plan. Phases. Phase 1 is all remote. Phase 2 is approximately 25%, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Phase 3, approximately 50%. Phase 4, we add in the Wednesday, right? After phase 4, how do we get to phase 5? 100%. Those are going to be some challenges, but we've also clearly tried not to go too fast, as well as try not to look too far ahead. We as educators, you always got to plan ahead, but we've been focused on the phase we're in, okay? We're in phase 2. What do we need to do? What do we need to have? And what do we need to get to the phase 3? So our plan is to go to phase 3 Monday and keep our people safe, right?
Right.
Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance, and have the weekend mindset. So that's what we're doing here, and I'm proud to be part of the team that helped build that.
Excellent, excellent. Now, with the experiences that you were talking about, how we want to build those experiences for the kids that want to come in, how are your teachers developing their lesson plans to get the kids? Because I don't know about you, I'm a high school teacher. I'm facing this issue with these black screens. I got these black screens I'm talking to. Some of these kids don't want to come across this virtual wall that they want to come through. How are your teachers overcoming that, like creating those experiences, making them want to take those screens down?
Yeah. You know what? We always want to teach at a high level, right? Our academic content, our subject areas, we want to be at the highest level. We talked with our staff and our people here, right? We had to pull that back a little bit, because at this time, we need kids to feel comfortable, kids to feel connected, building those relationships, right? How do you get to know somebody over the computer while you're doing this?
Right, exactly.
It's so challenging. So we take a back seat on the academics for a little bit and work on building those relationships. You talk about the screens. One of the things we're doing is opening up our avatars, right? We're going to let the kids design those, and we know they'll do a good job with that, right? Just to have a little bit of expression, just to have some creativity in there. But our teachers are killing it, man. They are working hard, and we have kids in front of them as well as on the computer now. So interactive activities, equity, right? That the kids at home can answer just as much as the kids in the building. We try to create as much time for them as possible. Next week, we took away all their duties, right? Do I need a teacher helping supervise in the hallway, or do they need an extra 45 minutes to build a unique lesson plan? So we did that, right? And now everyone else is pitching in. I got secretaries helping out. I got monitors helping this, right? We took away all their duties so they can work more on those lesson plans. And everybody's unique in their own way, Robert. People are trying different things and using all kinds of Pear Deck and Mentimeter and all of that kind of stuff.
That was the professional development I did this afternoon, was a whole thing of Pear Deck.
Yeah, cool, right? Hey, it's a different way to get that assessment, get those answers, participation, right? All of those things, yeah.
Definitely. Now, when it comes to your own personal, maybe the school's viewpoint or your own personal viewpoint, how do you think everyone is responding to this virtual learning thing? Do you think we're doing a good job as a whole for education, or do you think needs to be some improvements that we need to fill in the gaps?
Robert, I'm a growth mindset person, right? I'm someone, no matter if I have the perfect situation, I want it to be better next time. And that's a good trait to have, but it's also, like someone say, like in Hamilton, right? You're never satisfied, right? Right. So that's something of my belief. But I always believe that we can be better. I always believe that we can grow. I wrote a blog recently. It's coming out. My blog, self-commercial here, ELB blog is an education.
Right. Go ahead. I would ask you all that stuff anyway.
Yeah. But I wrote it, right? So I went, I wouldn't say I'm a handyman, but I'm pretty good. I could use a saw, a drill, right? And I've hung up everything, right? I've always, with the drill. Well, my mother asked me to put a bar in the shower. She was a little unsteady in the shower. She wanted the bar. So you got to go in the tile, right? If you know anything about that, you got to score it out. You got to get the diamond bit, all of those things. So I do all of that. I YouTube it. I talk to my tech teacher here at school. How do you do it? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I'm all ready. I know how to do it. That drill was all over the place. It's going all over the place, right? So the name of the blog is All Over the Place. So even while we might feel that we're all over the place, eventually I got the drill bit to catch on the tile. And I had the water and do it slowly. I slowly got it. So even though I felt like I was all over the place, I eventually got it. So I can sympathize, I can empathize with my staff and teachers everywhere, whether it's Illinois or here in the Northeast. You might feel that it's all over the place, but if you keep dialing in, you keep staying focused, breathing, taking care of yourself, taking breaks, you'll get it to where it needs to be. It might not feel perfect. I've gotten some of my best teachers, Robert, telling me, Andrew, my lesson was terrible. Andrew, I didn't do a good job today. And then like a kid will reach out and say, hey, man, I loved what you did today, right? Like, give yourself a little credit, I know you're used to teaching up here, and it might feel different, but the effort is here. And even, again, that all over the place concept, we got it dialed in eventually. So that's what I think people are feeling, and we're just trying to support them as best we can.
What do you think with the support? What do you think is the one thing that you can better support them in? I mean, like you got everything on the whole, and Port Pride, getting everybody to where they need to be. But where do you think, as an administrator, you need to do more?
Yeah. Good question, Robert. And I love if you YouTube it on YouTube. Under the Surface is the name of the film. It's a 3.5 minute short little film. And it's called the Empathy Film. It's called Under the Surface. Check it out. You could use it in your class as a resource. But in the film, right, it shows everyone in it, and there's a blurb over their head, and it shows you what they're going through. And you don't see it on the person, right? But if under the surface, what are they going through, right? So my job, I try to look at it because everyone's blurb is different, right? So again, we gave them more time next week. But is it they need technology? Is it that they need a break and they need to go take a walk? Is it that they're having a hard time, like you said, connecting on the computer, right? I talked to a psychologist, Robert, and he said people are suffering Zoom fatigue. And what that is, right, as an educator, you ask a question in your history classes, and you could tell right away. You might have 20 kids there. Who knows the answer? Who doesn't? Who's paying attention? Who fell asleep? Who's not interested? You know all of those answers in seconds.
Yes.
You know it by seeing it, seeing hands, people calling out the answer. But you asked the question, and in seconds, you got the response. Well, now you're trying to get the response, and people, you can't. Your brain is searching. You don't know. Did they get it? Did they walk away from the computer? Are they playing a video game? You don't know what they're doing because they're on the computer and maybe their camera's off. So your brain is searching. So people are tired, right? There's all of those things. So I'm trying to find the blurb over everyone's head, Robert, to answer your question, and then best support them I can in that manner. Who needs a joke? Who needs a postcard? Who needs a piece of chocolate? We gave out ice cream one day after school, right? Bunch of teachers came out. Other people said, Andrew, I want a beer, not an ice cream.
Well, you read minds too. I just had that in my head too. I'm just, here's the beer.
Yeah. Hey, it's Friday, right?
Right. Exactly.
But, again, watch that film. It's great because everybody needs a little, different. And, right, you can't give them a hug, right? How do you give a virtual hug? How do you let them know it's okay? Everyone's a little bit different. We're just trying to support them. There's no gotchas. There's no surprises. Trying not to inundate them with emails, right? So all of those kinds of things.
Excellent. I mean, I'm thinking ice cream. I'm like, come on, that's a killer right there. You go for ice cream, you're right there. Jeez. What do you think out of your tips from your book, besides the one about treating everyone as your own? What's one other tip that really sticks to you, that really sticks to your heart when it comes to your book? I mean, I'm sure every one of them sticks to your heart every way, but what's another one besides that one that really speaks to you, besides the one we talked about in the beginning?
Yeah. And there are a lot, Robert. And again, I look forward to you getting the book, and I was, so how proud to have done that. And there's so many, right? One of my philosophies I learned from my good friend, Dr. Rob Gilbert. He's a sports psychologist in Montclair State University in New Jersey. He taught me about the 5 SWs, Robert, right? I've been here 16 years, right? Sometimes we feel overwhelmed. We feel like it's a tidal wave and just, But whether it was refereeing, whether it was with my family, whether it's financial, there's so many stressors, things that get to us. So the 5 SWs help me a lot. Those are: sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? Someone's waiting, and stick with it, right? That keep rolling attitude, right? Today, a challenge here. You have a bad day here. Something goes wrong. I got to be better the next day. It goes back to that growth mindset. But those 5 SWs, right? I could do everything perfect. I still might get a phone call, someone complaining, right? Sometimes it will work out. Sometimes it won't. So what? You got to forgive yourself. So what? I'm not perfect, right? So what? Someone's waiting. There's going to be another parent. There's going to be another kid. There's going to be another teacher. There's going to be another day. There's going to be another lesson. There's going to be another year. You got to keep going. And I took that, again, from my refereeing world, right? The best teams, if they missed a shot, if they turned over the ball, if they did something wrong, the coaches, the bench would yell out, next play, right? So sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. So what? Stick with it. Somebody's waiting, right? So that helps me a lot. It's a great tip. I also tell myself a little self-meditation, right? I can do this. I can do this, right? Tell myself a little minute, I can do this, right? Little things to help yourself. So, but the 5 SWs are great. There's a lot in there about self-care, how to take care of yourself. It's Friday night here. Going to go to my kids' soccer practice tonight, spend some time with my wife, right? Try not to think about the stressors from work and enjoy my family. Go for a walk. I always got my exercise in there. Those things are important.
Definitely. So, last question, sir. How do we as educators push the boundaries of our classroom to break the status quo in this time of COVID? Like, how do we push it and become original and disrupt it so we can make education better? How would you address that?
Yeah, and I love the message of pushing boundaries. Certainly Rick Jeter and Rebecca Coda, I love them, their message, their books, right? Rick, great stuff, and I'm looking forward to learning more about the work you're doing, Robert, with them. I'm a big fan of Dave Burgess out in San Diego. Teach like a pirate, lead like a pirate. And
remind me not to interrupt you. Remind me, the last episode was Dave, so I'll send you that link to let you know, because the last episode we just did Dave. You're the guy after Dave.
Well, hey man, and I know that's a tough act to follow because Dave brings the heat, he brings the energy. But if you read the book, right, Dave talks about if kids had a choice, would they be in your class? If people had to buy a ticket to see your show, to see your stick, would they do it, right? We're making kids go there now. But if we acted with a mindset of like, hey, I'm trying to draw people in. Why do I have some classes that are always packed, right? Kids are dying to get in there. And then sometimes there's low enrollment, right? Now, is it the content area? Is it things like that? But if we own that classroom, and we say, I'm going to make this, again, we're not here to entertain the kids, right? The famous Joe Pesci line, what am I here to entertain you? But they're not here to entertain you. But again, these are kids. It should be exciting. It should be fun, right? There should be a routine. I got teachers here in my building. They got a WWF belt, right? Robert gets the highest score in the test. They're giving the belt out. They're playing the Rocky song. I got another teacher ringing the gong. He rings the bell, knocking stuff over in the class. The kids love that. They love it, right? So we as educators, right? The great line from Rita Pearson, right? Kids can't learn from people they don't like, right? We got to open it up a little bit. And again, if they had to buy a ticket, would they come to yours? And I think that's a mindset not everybody has. But the more we can model that energy and enthusiasm in the class, the more I could get other teachers in my own building. I don't need a professional development. But what I do need, because I get to see every teacher every day. I get to see all these different great things. If I could get the other people to go see them, right? This teacher might do something great in this manner. And another teacher might, I don't need, again, we don't have to hire a consultant for thousands of dollars to come in and teach my whole staff. I got the experts all right here. I got to break that. I got to push those boundaries, Robert, to get that one teacher out of their room to go see the other one. I got to see how this one teacher teaches it, this method, I got a teacher that plays French music every day, hip hop, French music as the kids are coming in. I love it, right? It's a French class. Like, what a simple technique. But you don't think the other kids are walking down the hall hearing that music going, man, what's going on in there? They look like they're having fun. Right? That's attractive, man. What Dave calls about the hook. He also says in the book, again, I don't know if he said it on the podcast, when you serve a steak to your friends at your house, do you say, Robert, here's your steak, and just plop it on the table with no seasoning? Do you not ask, hey, Robert, do you like steak? Do you eat steak? How like your steak cooked? Do you want it a little extra rare, right? Like any of those things, because you want them to love your steak. You want them to come back to your house for dinner. You want to make them happy.
Definitely.
Well, there's some of that we got to share too. So that's what I would say about pushing the boundary, getting our teachers to see each other, and then that mindset of when they leave here, right? Were they enriched? Were they engaged? Were they just eating up what I was selling? So
definitely. Andrew, what is your social media, your social stuff you want to push out there for everyone? Yeah, man. Would love to connect with people on social media. I use it as a professional. I think it's a great tool. I know there's a film out. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not showing you what I'm having for dinner. We're trying to impact each other's lives. So I got a great PLN that I'm part of. But I'm at Andrew Marotta on Twitter. I'm on Facebook like you, and my podcast is on there. Hashtag ELB, Education, Leadership, and Beyond. The blog I write, I would love for people to sign up. I'm looking for guest writers too. You got a message, you want to push the boundary, send me your blog. I'll push it out. But that you could on my website, andrewmarotta.com, you could sign up to get the blog. And I just think those are ways, again, what can we do to impact the lives of others? So I'm enjoying that journey to do that. And I'd love to meet some of the educators that watch your program and connect with them. So am I led to believe, sir, that you're a pirate? Are you a pirate? The energy, the passion, right? I love Dave's message, right? We're on Halloween here. I remember when I was a classroom teacher too, getting props and all that stuff. Right. I just love the message. I love, Beth Huff and Dave's wife Shelly wrote "Lead Like a Pirate." Jay Billy, Lead with Culture. I'm fans of those people. I've had them in my class, but I love Dave's message about the energy and enthusiasm. And there's a reason why those books are selling like hotcakes. Definitely. And I will be sending you that link for last week so you can see how Dave rolled. So guys, definitely I'd like to thank Andrew. I appreciate your time, sir. Want to be mindful of your time. But definitely for everybody else, this is Pushing Boundaries, the PB podcast. What are you guys doing to push the boundaries of your classroom, regardless if it's virtual or in person? We'll see you guys soon. Andrew, please be safe. We'll see you soon. Everyone, take it easy.